Patriots Friday, where each week we talk to one of the coordinators from the New England Patriots. Coordinators from the Patriots on WEEI Afternoons are brought to you by McFarland Energy, the region's most dependable provider of home heating oil delivery, as well as expert HVAC services at McFarlandEnergy.com, and brought to you by Cape Cod Lumber, your local TimberTech supplier, #1 in premium decking. This week, it's Patriots Special Teams Coordinator Jeremy Springer. Mr. Springer, how are we doing this week?
I'm doing great, man. How about yourself?
We're good. I mean, how could we not be good? You guys are on a win streak. You're in first place. Things are rolling. You know, the weather's not too bad. The rain went away. Like, we're celebrating life here in New England. So is there an energy, a vibe around the building? I know I heard Steph Diggs say don't drink the Kool-Aid, and we're serving up some Kool-Aid when I tell you you're in first place and you're on a winning streak and all that. What's the vibe or the energy around the building these days?
You know what? I think at the end of the day, everyone in this building knows how long the season is. I mean, it's literally, like, to me, it's the beginning of the season, to be honest with you. So, like, the noise outside is not really a factor. But I think the vibe inside the building is, you know, guys believing in the things that the head man is preaching, like our culture, our identity, and trying to really practice our identity on a daily basis. And that's kind of all we're worried about is, like, are we a reflection of what we're trying to be as a team day by day? And we're just taking it day by day because it literally is like the season doesn't end today, right? We got so many more wonderful football, and it's like we got so much more we can be better at, and that's what we're trying to do is just take one day at a time. I thought we had a good Friday today, and that's I'm really, when you talk about, I'm only worried about tomorrow right now and getting ready for tomorrow so that we can perform our best on Sunday.
Okay, so you're telling me that you didn't wake up with a smile on your face Tuesday when you heard that you guys were in first place in the AFC East, and that no one has whispered to you, hey, if we win Sunday and the Colts lose, we got sole possession of the 1 seed in the AFC.
Nah, I'll tell you what, I don't listen to TV. I don't watch TV.
It rots your brain anyway, Jeremy. Good call.
Yeah, I'm literally on to trying to win and beat the Tennessee Titans. That's about it.
So you mentioned the head man, Mike Vrabel. We all know you're playing a Tennessee team that he coached for a bunch of years, and he lived down there, and he set the tone for that organization. How has he handled this week? I know he said to the media this is not some win one for the Gipper kind of week, but how has he handled this week and that potential distraction or storyline?
Exactly like you would think Mike Vrabel will handle it, man. We're focused on the opponent, and that's the opponent, Tennessee. And we know that in the NFL, man, this thing is a week-to-week basis. So, like, this team right now, in my opinion, like, I just look at special teams. They're a damn good special teams unit. They do a phenomenal job in all phases. And my goal is to, you know, get the possessions to our offensive defense, be the best that we can. And Vrabel's really stressed that amongst all three phases. Like, what can we do to win this game and focus on this game? And there's really been no talk about anything else outside other than that. It's just focus on the game and focus on what we need to do to win it.
Yeah, I mean, you even had Steph Diggs in the locker room earlier this week saying, don't drink the Kool-Aid, don't take the cheese, as far as people trying to, you know, blow sunshine your way and buy into the hype. So that makes a lot of sense, Jeremy. I would like to go back to last Sunday's game real quick. So there's the 4th and 7, and offense decides to go for it. It would have been, I believe, a 58-yard field goal for Borregales. Now, he banged through the 52-yarder against Buffalo. I say that would have been good from 72, and that's outdoors, no less.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you go up to Vrabel and say, hey, coach, just so you know, he's good from 60 tonight? Do you advocate for the kick, or do you wait until they come to you and say, like, how's his range? How's he doing? What can we ask of him tonight?
Yeah, that's all done in pregame for us. Like, everything from a yard line perspective and what we're going both ways, if we're outside or if we're indoor, we already have a plan in place. So I know. And I think, you know, the flow of the game, the aggressiveness of Coach Vrabel in those situations when they're talking with offense, defense, and stretch, I think that's something that they decide on. And for me, I'm always ready because I'm on the headset. And if we want to kick it, we kick it. Now, we want to be aggressive, let's do it. And I just love that about Braves. Like, if we're going to be aggressive, let's fucking do it. And excuse my language right there. Let's do it. And let's go out there and be the – sorry about that. Let's go out there.
That's why – no, don't ever apologize. That's why we love you, dude. You're the real deal.
No, I got in coach mode, but I just love the aggressiveness, man. Like, if we go out there on offense, we get touchdowns, man, that's good for our team. It's good for Drake and those guys, and I'm all for what's best for the team in that situation, and I'm all in on whatever we choose to do.
Okay, so how often does what just happened happen? Because in the real world, do you get fired up like talking to your mom about something, or family, or friends, and get into coaching?
I tell you what. When I come home, it's hard to turn it off. So my girlfriend, she knows when I get home if I'm, cussing a little bit more. She just knows I'm in coach mode. I've been around guys all day. I'm talking with Travion Henderson about this. I'm just in coach mode, and it's just hard to kind of turn it off sometimes.
Yeah, we have to turn it off, unfortunately, for our job because the FCC gets really mad at us if we get in coaching mode. I did want to ask you, so speaking of Borregales, he seems like he's settled in nicely in terms of putting the ball through the uprights. But there's been a couple little hiccups here on kickoffs, not hitting the landing zone.
Yeah.
What are the challenges to that? What are you asking him to do? How has he been sort of working through that? Because that's obviously kind of a relatively new thing in his career and in the league.
Yeah.
So what's going on there?
Yeah, that has nothing to do with Andy. Like I get kind of mad at myself. I get a little selfish sometimes because I've already expressed how much I love that dirty ball and how effective it is. And when you look around the league, when teams are able to do it consistently, your drives are starting inside the 20-yard line. So it's a major, major deal. So we hit it on the first 2 reps. And they were good kicks, and I got a little greedy with it. And sometimes on those kicks, man, like it's hard to be consistent with them. And you see it around the league, that third or fourth one could get a little hairy where it's in front of the 20. So that's all coaching. I just need to be better about putting him in the best situation. I know he can directionally kick the ball middle, right, left, and he can hit the dirty ball from time to time, but it doesn't need to be every rep. So, again, that's just me learning through it, being a little selfish, getting a little greedy, and sometimes when you do that, it's a high-risk, high-reward type of deal because you don't want the ball at the 40-yard line, and ultimately that's a coaching mistake on myself.
So, Jeremy, obviously you've got we believe the best punt returner in the NFL right now with Marcus Jones, but who's the backup punt returner? I only ask because Marcus is having, I say, a career year both ways, but he plays so physically on defense, and he's 5'9", $185, but tries to hit everybody like he's Ronnie Lott. I'm just kind of concerned that he's going to get dinged up, and then you're not going to have Marcus back there for a week or two, or maybe a punt return.
You know what? Yeah. And what's funny is when you guys asked me about him playing kickoff return, that's why he doesn't. Because that right there. So, but no, in all seriousness, we got a number of guys that could back him up. You got Pop Douglas, you got Chiz if he's active, and then you got Kyle Williams as well. So those 3 guys can all do it, and those are all 3 guys that work at it all week long. So, we have all those guys backing up, ready to go in case, God forbid, 25 goes down.
So you had, and we're speaking with Patriots Special Teams Coordinator Jeremy Springer here on WEEI Afternoons on a Patriots Friday. You mentioned Chisholm there. He was active. You had him in the kickoff return role. I'm wondering, what do you like about that? He's probably not as fast as Gibson, I'm going to guess, but what do you like about him in that role? Is that something you see him developing in?
Yeah, I think, when you're the 4th or 5th receiver, or again, it's 3rd or 4th running back right now, all those guys got to be able to return the football in this new dynamic kickoff because it's such a valuable play now because you're running 6 to 8 kickoffs a game or returns a game. So all those guys are always working. And someone like Chiz, I thought last week made great decisions. He knew where the ball was going. He caught him on the run. He didn't run out of returns where it forced into the penalties. It was more on if we had a penalty, it was more on technique versus him. So he's just a great decision maker. So he's a guy that we'll continue to work and develop, and I love his attitude. I love the way he works, and he's a guy that I'm always going to trust because I know he's going to work throughout the week and he's going to be prepared, especially when you're playing a team that's maybe putting the ball on the ground a lot. That's where that valuable preparation comes into play because if you can't handle those balls on the ground, you're going to be starting a lot of drives inside the 20 or making really poor decisions that's going to really hurt the football team. And I just think he makes great decisions because of the way he works. So I hope he continues to develop and continue to ride with him if that situation comes up. And if it doesn't, then just get him work and be ready to go.
Earlier you said as you were preparing this week to take on the Titans, they had some really good special teams. What kind of problems could they potentially present you with on Sunday in a game where, the coaching staff has now just been shaken up all of 5 days ago?
Yeah, and that's the thing, in the NFL or really in college too, because the head coach gets fired doesn't mean the organization is in shambles. These guys are all professionals. They're all getting paid to do what they do. So they're going to work, and they're working even harder. And I always say that sometimes you get your best coaching done whenever you're losing or in those situations because you're doing everything you can to expend all resources to win a football game. And I know the guy they have over there, Jim Fossil. I mean, he's one of the OGs and one of the best in the game, and he's got those guys playing really hard. They got a returner in DK, a rookie that's the NFL leader in all-purpose yards right now in the return game. They got dynamic guys in the rush game. I mean, this is a really good football team on special teams, and that's all I look at because I'm a special teams coordinator, so that's what I focus on. And I've been telling our guys all week, man, this is a real game. I mean, it's going to test our special teams unit from the first quarter to the fourth quarter, and we got to be on our screws, and we got to help our defense and offense out. We got to create momentum on the road in the NFL. It is never, ever, ever, I can't stress enough, like an easy win. It's just never going to be that way. And so we got to come out and play 4 quarters of clean football for our team, and it's a big challenge. I mean, fake city, rush game, return game, I mean, every phase these guys do a great job. So it's a big challenge, and I'm looking forward to it.
Jeremy, we're now 6+ weeks into the NFL season with last night's game, and the only kickoff return for a touchdown is your guy, Antonio Gibson. Are you surprised by that? Did you expect more big play returns? Why aren't there more? How do you see this coming together?
Yeah, I'm kind of, it is what it is because it's such a hard play for those guys on kickoff return. You think about it, you're 5 yards away from somebody that's running full speed at you, and you're trying to keep your body in front of them. Because as soon as they get outside your framework, you can't grab them. You can't, because if you do, it's a holding call. So it's a really hard play to do, and you got rules and regulations in terms of formations that you can do it anyway, and then all these kicks that you're getting, right? Like you're getting kicks right, middle, left, on the ground. I mean, it's a hard play on kickoff return to coach. It's a hard play for the guys to understand, and it's just hard for those guys to block guys for that long. It just is. So you're not going to see as many big returns as you wanted to, and that's just the plain fact. And you just got to make sure you get guys back there to understand the returns, and you got to continue to just coach the little things on it because it really comes down to the details of your blocking technique. But it's a hard play, man. I can't stress it enough that on these guys that have played defense and not used to blocking like tight ends. You don't have 15 tight ends on the roster, so you can't play everybody. And you got top 2 tight ends are going to play all offense, so you're not going to use those guys. So it's a challenging play, but it's fun. It's fun to be on the side of trying to be creative with it and trying to get better at it. And every day, every week, I feel like I'm learning something new on how to coach it better when I'm watching around the league. And it's an ongoing growth mindset type of play in terms of how I'm trying to coach it.
Jeremy, last one for me. Earlier today, I had a chance to speak to a news anchor from Nashville who's also a radio host and has been covering the team for years. And he said personnel-wise, they're pretty banged up, and there's a reason why they're only averaging 14 points a game. However, he said he would not be surprised in any way, shape, or form if the team, because of the fact that Mike Vrabel's coming back to town, because it's the first game coached by an interim head coach, not only tries an increase in tempo, but also reaches into the bag for every trick possible in all 3 phases of the game. Are you guys getting prepared for that? And also, don't forget, not that it's the same team by any stretch, but this is the home of the Music City Miracle. So have you guys been going over any potential? I mean, it's one of the greatest special teams plays of all time. Going over any potential any trick plays and whatnot this week?
Yeah, I think when you play in a coordinator that has a history of fakes like Jim Fossil does, and a history of just being a great, creator of fakes, and Jim Fossil, that's what he is. And on top of that, with the interim head coach, and he was once an interim head coach for when Fisher got fired at the LA Rams. Yep. So you just know the history of what he's done and what they're doing, and we just got to be prepared and all. And every 4th down is a huge play for us. And that's why I said it earlier about this team. They're a really good team on special teams. I don't take that for granted. You don't take these games on the road in the NFL for granted. It's going to be a tight football game. It's going to be a very good football game, and we're doing everything we can to be prepared for that. And my goal is to not lose a possession in this game, get it back to our offensive defense with great positive momentum and good field position. If we do that, I'll be happy at the end of the game if we get a win with that.
All right, Jeremy, we can make a deal then. You guys keep winning. We'll keep serving up Kool-Aid, and you guys will keep refusing to drink it. Is that all fair?
That's all fair, man. We got 11 games, man. A lot of football left, dog.
All right, man.
Good.
All right, thank you. Good luck this week. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
All right, you guys have a good one.
Thanks, you too, Jeremy.
That was Patriots Special Teams Coordinator Jeremy Springer, brought to you by Cape Cod Lumber, your local timber tech supplier, #1 in premium decking. And that was our first, I think, Fitzy, That was our first coach got too comfortable and got in coach speak interview we've had this year. And as you would say, Fitzy, I'm here for it. I love when they let their guard down and you get a little insight into when it's rolling, baby. It's rolling, baby.